Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. Hope that you're doing well. Today, we're taking a look at a hype beast. Yes, a hype beast, a beast of hype. It's this one right here, Rayhaan Ocean Rush. At least I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Rayhaan. Rayhaan sounds better. This is a fragrance that a bunch of you were emailing me about saying, hey, I'd like you to check this out. I'd like you to review this. I want you to get this because of hype reasons. And if I get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails from people in a short time frame all saying the same thing, hey, please get this. Let me know what you think about it. At that point, I am duty bound. So this one, I actually looked around a little bit. I was trying to see where I could even buy this stuff. You can't buy it from the website. It shows out of stock, or the brand's website. So I got it from Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, the #1 place to buy fragrances.
It was a little bit over 25 bucks. Let me see the exact amount. $26.84. That's what I paid for this one with Prime 2-day delivery. Nice. And I have only had this in for a couple days, so this is glorified first impressions that we're doing here today, not a full-on deep dive review or anything like that. I'll go ahead and I'll link this one in the description to Amazon in case you want to check it out down there. I actually bought the entire Aqua collection. There were 3 fragrances in the Aqua collection, but this is the only one that's arrived so far. The other 2 shipped with Prime, but they had slower shipping for whatever reason, so I'll maybe talk about those in a future video, see how those are as well. So as I said, a bit of a hype beast, this one. People getting really excited because it's not that expensive. Again, I paid just over 25 bucks for it, but I'm assuming you'll be able to find it for even less as time goes on. I'm assuming that this will pop up at discounters and stuff like that, and could be right around 20 bucks or so. So it's being really, hyped or appreciated for being a cheap, fresh fragrance, a high quality, cheap freshie. Let's go ahead and kick things off here by taking a look at the presentation, and we can talk about the fragrance itself. So here you have the box, front of the box. Looks pretty nice. 100 ml Ocean Rush for Homme Aqua Collection, Eau de Parfum, all that info right there on the front. Got the name of the house up top, and then on the side you have some Arabic. I'm not sure what it says. On the back you have the name of the house once more, and then on the bottom of your badge code. A product of ARK Perfumes and Cosmetics Trading, manufactured by Fill and Pack Perfumes. And here we got the bottle, kind of a stock bottle, but it looks good. Got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, the concentration right there on the front. You have some calligraphy on the back of the bottle, which looks good also. On the bottom, you have your badge code, and then the cap slides snugly into place. See? Yeah. Now, one thing that I did notice when I was ordering this off of Amazon is a number of people had received bottles that were jacked. Completely jacked. So what I mean by that was they had bad leakage from underneath the collar here, all over the bottle, kind of ruining the bottle, ruining the box, just the whole deal. So that would be caused by a poor crimp. Underneath the collar here is where you would crimp down the atomizer there. So if they're doing some poor crimping, some potential poor quality control or some issues going on there, it can cause that to happen and have leakage there, which will ruin your stuff. And if it was just one review on there, you'd say, maybe it's not very prevalent, but it did look like there were a few different people there that had that issue, so that is worth. So I would say if you order this or another one from the house, just kind of give it a look-see and make sure it's not leaking really badly. If it is, you may want to just go ahead and immediately package it back up and send it back, return it. Let's go ahead and do a couple sprays here. Atomizer's okay. I'm the clumsiest person on earth. Now, before we jump into how the fragrance smells, here are a bunch of codes that you can use if you shop at any of these websites to save yourself some money. And most of these codes are also linked in the description below, so codes. All right, let's talk the fragrance itself. When I very first sprayed this one on, when I first got it in, frankly, it smelled awful. Yeah, when I very first sprayed this on, it had a strong, chemically synthetic smell, really, really cheap smelling, kind of like a cleaner type aspect, which if you're familiar with cheaper fragrances, sometimes that does happen with citrus off the top. It'll give you this like cleaning solution kind of smell, like a Windex cleaner or something like that. And that's how it smelled off my skin and a tester strip the first time I sprayed it on. It was bad. It was really cheap. Thankfully, that was just the first time. I will say though, off a tester strip, that it still kind of has that scent profile. So just now, when I sprayed that on, the way the citrus comes across gives you those kind of vibes. a little bit. Citrusy, cleaner vibes, which is not really how you want to come across smelling. Because at that point, you don't smell like you're wearing a nice fragrance. You smell like you cleaned your house and you didn't wash your hands afterwards. Like you were just spraying stuff and wiping down the glass and the wood and everything, and then you just said heck with it and went on your way. So a tester strip with this one, not super accurate. Go away. So when you spray it on skin, how does it open up after the first time that you spray it on skin? Well, this is gonna be one of those fragrances that you do wanna let settle for a second. Because when you first go in, if you spray it on and then immediately go for a whiff, you're gonna get mainly alcohol. It's gonna come across like that. After the alcohol settles down, you have an aquatic accord. It smells fresh, for sure. It does smell still kind of on the cheap side of things. The citrus here is not really in the forefront of the fragrance. You get citrus, but it's not a focal point. It's lightly green in a synthetic way. You have some rosemary that comes out underneath, so you have this like minerality, this aromatic feel that mixes with the aquatic notes. It lingers in your nose hairs a little bit when you smell it up close. It just kind of sits there like in your lungs, kind of, ugh. And then muskiness underneath, just kind of a clean white muskiness. It smells essentially like you took something along the lines of Versace Pour Homme and you made it cheaper on a lower budget. And you replace some of the smoother notes in Versace Pour Homme or other fragrances of that style. Missoni Wave is also a little bit similar to that, but Missoni Wave is a little bit denser, so I would say closer to Versace Pour Homme, but kind of like Versace Pour Homme. Take away some of the smoothness of that and you add in more of a minerality. You add in more aromatics as well, and then again, cheap it out a little bit. Not as much sweetness in this one as compared to the Versace, and as this one dries down, it gets a little bit of woodiness that comes out. So little woods there underneath that aquatic kind of minerality and touch of aromatic that it has. So when you're talking cheap fragrances, specifically fragrances that are clones, because this house is at the end of the day associated with Versace, and they have a number of other fragrances, and my understanding is that they are a clone house essentially. When you're talking clone fragrances, you've got kind of two different types of clones, at least for me. You have clone fragrances that are at a certain price point, but when you smell them, you think to yourself, whoa, that could be 3 times the cost, and I wouldn't bat an eye. So ones that you can get, whether it's $20, $30, $40, $60, whatever, but at that price point that they're at, the quality is sick. And it's one of those things where you can tell immediately. So for a lot of people, that would be something like Kamra, for example, Latafa Kamra. You pick it up for 30 bucks, and then when you smell it, you think, whoa, this could easily be 60, 90, whatever. It smells higher quality than the cost. Or Jean Lo Immortal, something like that, right? Again, inexpensive, but smells expensive. Then you have clone fragrances that are maybe not necessarily a bad buy, but they're 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. And when you smell it, you think, that's about right, yeah. This one is in that category for me. So 25 bucks, I smell it and I think, yeah, that's about what a $25 fragrance should smell like. It's kind of one of those deals where if I walked into a store, whether we're talking a Walmart, a fragrance store, you know, Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, whatever. If you saw this fragrance and you saw, you know, 25, 30 bucks, you picked it up, you sprayed it on, I'm gonna do it again, then you would go, yep, that makes sense. It's a good purchase at that price point. But if this was, you know, $50, $60, $70, you would spray this on and go, oh no, that's terrible. No. And again, it's just one of those deals where as soon as you spray it on, alcohol, you gotta let it sit. And then after that, it's like, oh, okay, like little citrus, but it's not like a lively citrus. It's not like a rich, juicy citrus. It's just kind of like, and melds together with this minerally aquatic feel that it has. And it's fine. It smells fine. But it's not anything where I smell it and go, oh my God. So I'm actually not sure to what extent this has actually been hyped. I just know I've gotten a bunch of emails from people saying, hey, it's hype beast, hype beast, hype beast. So that's the only reason I even purchased the thing. To be honest, I wasn't even sure what Ocean Rush was until I got all those emails. So sometimes you guys gotta let me know if you want me to cover something in particular. So again, when I see a bunch of emails in a row, that lets me know, oh, I should probably go buy this, whatever it is. Otherwise, I would not have this at all. I don't know. And in terms of performance, again, I've only had it a couple days. Seems about normal for a fresh fragrance. You know, it's about like Versace Pour Homme, something like that. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. It's whatever. It's pretty cheap, so you can spray it on heavy and keep on rocking with it. Get better performance that way. Spray it on your clothes. Definitely more spring, summer fragrance, more of a daytime fragrance. Yeah, 100%. So there we go. Rayhaan Ocean Rush. It's okay. For 25 bucks, I think it's fine. If it were 35, 45, no, that'd be a real hard pass, but at 25, there's not much down there in that price range. You know, there's a few things that are good. Most of it is on the cologne side, actually, but it's not anything to get really hyped about. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill shower gel type of fragrance, vaguely reminiscent of Versace Pour Homme, but again, on a cheaper scent profile, not as smooth, more minerality, more of an aromatic touch to it, less sweetness, less citrus. That's pretty much it. A little cheap shower gel freshie, get the job done on the cheap, but it's not gonna redefine your fragrance collection or anything. So there we go, Ocean Rush. I got the other two ones on order, like I said, so when those come in, see how they are, and maybe do a video on those too. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.